up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Guys, so if you guys want to listen to this podcast instead of watching this video, be sure to check it out on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. There will be links in the description for you guys to check out. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you stick around. I post a ton of different types of videos, not just podcasts. My name is Rodrigo, aka Roddy Blaze. Be sure to check out my podcast, the Rodcast Podcast Show, again, on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And enjoy this interview. Let's get it. Woo!
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, see you perfectly.
Okay, great.
Oh my! So
thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So you mentioned it's been a crazy day, so I gotta ask, how's everything in your world going right now?
It's good. You know, everything's adjusting to the new normal. It's a crazy world right now. Doing what I can to get by. It's a hard time for a wrestler and entertainment. But I did actually just wrestle this past Saturday night, and we'll dive more into that. But
right.
How are you? How's everything?
Good. Yeah.
You're in California.
Yes, I am in California. Yes, so right now it is like around 1 something p.m. and
yeah,
what's 4 p.m. over there?
Yeah.
And you are in Florida, right?
Yep, Orlando.
Yeah, right. I recently had I don't know if you follow James Ellsworth.
Oh yeah, I was on a show with him this year actually in
really?
Arizona. Yeah, in February. It was like February. I was on a show in Arizona with him.
Oh, what? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
I wrestled him.
Oh, you wrestled him?
Yeah, I actually wrestled him. It was an intergender. Yeah, it was an intergender tag team match.
Oh, what? That's crazy. I actually just I interviewed him on Friday, and his episode or my episode with him actually just came out today. And he was in. I asked him the same thing. I was like, "Oh, where is he?" And he was in Baltimore, Maryland too. So we me and him had to work out the time difference too. So it was kind of we had to find the balance. Okay, this time work for you, and then it was kind of confusing too. When you told me, 3 p.m. and I was like, wait, 3 p.m. your time? Because I was like,
right,
wait a minute. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Always have to establish Eastern and whatnot, which time zone you're in. But yeah, it was Cactus League Wrestling. If you want to look it up, I think it's on YouTube. It might be. Okay.
The match or your match with him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely gonna look that up. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Cactus League Wrestling. Cactus League Wrestling in Arizona.
Oh, all right, for sure.
Which I was hoping to go back there, but everything's been canceled this year.
Yeah, it's been. Oh my god, it's been so crazy. It's everything. I mean, everything. At least here, everything's been opening back up. I don't know about over there. Has everything been opening back up?
Actually, Florida has been, I think, one of the better states to be in. Mostly everything has opened back up. They started doing 50% capacity. Masks are required everywhere. Other things are not opening up, like certain events and stuff like that. We were able to hold an event. Everyone wore masks and followed guidelines. So that was really great just to be back in a ring.
Yeah.
So it was excellent.
All right, Amber. So for my listeners, I want to take it from the very beginning. So Amber, I want to ask you. So obviously, the listeners right now. Obviously, I already gave them the information that you are a wrestler from Florida. But I want them and also myself as well. I want to hear more of your story from the very, very beginning. So Amber, I got to ask you. I know you probably have said this story many, many times. What is the story of Amber Nova from the very beginning?
Okay, so I'm guessing you gave them the introduction about me, a brief little who I am.
Yes.
So that'll be on there. So, hey guys, I'm Amber Nova. I'm your classic car driving pro wrestler. I'm about American muscle. I'm the daughter of a mechanic. I've been watching wrestling since I was a child with my dad going to events. My dad got me into classic cars, and I actually can work on my own car and work on your car and change the oil. And when I get in the ring, I call it a tune-up. When I step in the ring with someone, that's what I'm doing. I'm tuning up everywhere I go. So that's a brief little something about me. No, when I first debuted, that was 4 years ago, April 2016. And for my first year or two, I'd always carry the wrench with me to the ring and just establish that with me. My gear has tire marks or wrench design on it. It always has a wrench on it, something to just showcase the mechanic in me. And, it's like something to my dad, so it means a lot. And yeah, I don't actually come to the ring anymore with a wrench. Sometimes I have race car flags, which I did in a new photo shoot. So maybe race car flags in my hand, maybe a wrench. Either way, I'm always geared up and revved up and ready to tune up.
Oh my goodness. So I'm assuming Amber is your real name, like your actual real name.
Yes.
Yeah. Is Nova
Yes.
actually your last name as well?
It's a part of me.
Okay.
Yeah, so Nova's not my real last name. My real last name is Flora. It's Italian and Irish. I'm very proud of it. It's very beautiful, Flora. But Nova has always been a nickname. It's what I've always been called, back home around Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, where I'm from. I would have another different Nova. It was another 73 Nova. It was older, it was different, dark color. Anyways, I'd drive it around and people would see me at the gas station and they'd be like, oh, you're the Nova girl. You're the girl that drives the Nova. And I was always just Amber Nova.
Right. I remember I watched one of your matches. I believe it was with Zeta. I think it was her.
Yeah.
I was with her. You guys wrestled outside, and I remember you screamed at her Nova. You screamed at her Nova Drive, and I was like, oh,
Nova Drive.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's actually what I call my finisher. It's a stunner. It's a springboard stunner, or sometimes I hit it with a wheelbarrow stunner.
Right. Yes.
Either way, my stunner, I call it the Nova Driver.
The Nova Driver. Oh my god, that's really cool.
Nova Driver.
The first time I ever saw you hit that move was I forgot what show it was, but you faced Reagan Fire or Callie, her real name. Don't know if you remember.
Oh wow, yeah, that had to have been like around my debut 3-4 years ago ish.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw you hit that move. Yeah, her Reagan Fire actually had her like a month or two ago on here, and it was really
cool.
Really, really cool.
She's in the Florida area, the Florida scene. We see each other at shows every now and then. She's doing good. We've been wrestling about the same time, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then which match did you watch with Zeta? Because I wrestled her at least 2 times. They were outdoor shows.
Yeah. It was an outdoor show, and you were wearing your white gear. I forgot what show.
So that was the car show I did. Yeah, I drove up in my car.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Which, by the way, that white gear, perfect. Love that. I love that gear. Love that gear.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so something that I wanted to ask you, and I'm pretty sure anybody who's a fan of you, I gotta ask you, what are your workouts like? Because anybody who has you on social media knows that you are in incredible shape. Like, oh my god, look at that. Oh, it is so crazy. What do you call them? Amber abs?
Amber abs.
Like, it is crazy. So I want to talk, like, if you can tell us, like, what are some of your workouts? What is your workout like? And if you can include in that, what is your diet like? Because you are in incredible shape. It's so cool.
I really appreciate that. I know I'm definitely one of these smaller female competitors out there, if not the smallest, at least on the indie scene. I don't know, Casey Catazaro might have me beat. She's a little smaller than me. And I love that little ninja. And but anyways, so my workout routine. Let's start back before I was an EMT. I was always really healthy. I've always loved my fruits and vegetables. And I'm an Italian woman, and I come from an Italian-Irish family, so heavy carbs, like spaghetti 5 days a week. So I'm actually just naturally gifted with a good metabolism. My mother had 5 kids. She had twins at the end, and she's about, I think, 110 pounds. Like, she's a small woman too. But yeah, so I've always ate healthy vegetables, fruits. And then when I was an EMT, I didn't matter if I was working 24-hour shifts, 48-hour shifts. If I had downtime, or just every day when I got home from work, I'd work out on my abs. And this fireman I worked with, a good buddy, we even went to high school together. He taught me this ab workout where it's really just about leg raises. So you sit on like the edge of your bed, or you sit on the edge of a stool somewhere comfortable. You could even sit on the ground, and you just hold your legs up elevated, and you do crunches. You do one leg, you do 2 legs, you do both at the same time, and just alternate. But the point is keeping your abs tight and having your legs raised. And then, you can do it on pull-up bar machines, like just pull up one and just leg raises, just lift them. It's just tons of leg raises. I know I got my core pretty ripped, and I would start with like 50 or 100 a day. Then I was doing 200 a day, and then I don't know, I think I was knocking out 300-400 a day, like no problem. And then fast forward to moving to Florida 5 years ago. And I left my career job as an EMT behind to pursue professional wrestling and modeling. I'm also a certified bartender.
What? Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah. I make some good drinks.
Yeah. What's your go-to drink?
Old fashioned.
Oh, okay.
Or a mojito. I make really good mojitos and old fashioned. But hot yoga. I started doing hot yoga a couple years ago, as well as all my in-ring cardio. That wrestling is like a workout you've never done before. It's unlike any other workout. I know that like there's like those intense there's other intense workouts out there, but man, being in a ring, your cardio, like they pushes you to your limit. And then I also really enjoy hot yoga, which I'll be honest, I haven't done hot yoga since the quarantine because they were closed for so many months. And they're just now opening back up. With obviously like you have to be spaced out 6 feet. But yeah, I love hot yoga. I love I love ring cardio. That's really what keeps me in shape. And then my diet, I'm not a crazy dieter. I don't eat red meat, pork, ham. I don't eat any of that. I only eat the best protein, like the leanest, healthiest protein, which is turkey, chicken, and fish. So I'm not a vegetarian. I do get my protein, but it has to be just turkey, chicken, fish. And then lots of carbs, lots of vegetables, and then just work out. Like, that's it. I live a happy lifestyle. And I'll be honest, like I don't have to work quite as hard as other people maybe do, because you have to think, you can't just do what I do. Everyone's body's different and it reacts differently. So it depends on your body type, what works for you.
Does the word cheat meal exist in your vocabulary?
I mean, not really. I'm not big on like sweets. Like I like chocolate and ice cream and brownies, but like I'll choose a slice of pizza over that any day. So I don't know. Yeah, I love spaghetti. I love pizza. I try not to eat too much of that around shows or shoots. Like I'll wait and be like, okay, I'll eat it afterwards or like the day before. So I do try to limit it. I love Chinese food. I've been eating that a lot lately. But I also cook. Like I can cook. I made salmon. I had salmon, rice, and asparagus and cauliflower last night I made. So I do cook.
Better be like, I'm also a certified chef.
I'm gonna throw that one out there too.
Like certified bartender, certified chef. Come on, I'll do it all. So you mentioned earlier how you said you haven't done hot yoga since the quarantine started. Anything else that you haven't been able to do other than the wrestling shows and all that stuff? But as far as your personal life, is there anything else that you haven't been able to do since this quarantine started?
The gyms were closed here in Florida. All restaurants, bars, everything was really pretty much shut down except for the grocery stores. And then things started slowly opening up. So once they started opening up, I've gone back to LA Fitness is the gym I go to. They've always taken good care of me. The hot tub and the sauna are not opened at LA Fitness still. And I really like getting my sweat on, like in the sauna or the hot tub. I can't. And then hot yoga, that just opened back up. So I'm working on figuring out when I can go to one of my classes because I really miss it. What else has been gone? The beaches were closed for some time and they opened up. So I have been going to the beach again. I love water activities. I like outdoor stuff. Let's see. As far as wrestling goes, like last time I wrestled was the end of February. And then I just wrestled on the 13th of this month and this past Saturday, the 27th. So I got to wrestle twice this month so far. Each event went good. Everyone wore masks, followed guidelines. That felt so damn good to be back in the ring. And I've been able to go back to training, getting in the ring a little bit. We've been very limited with how many people we can have training in certain things. But we're just all like adjusting to this new normal. I heard it's crazy in California. How is it for you guys?
It's a little bit stuff's starting to open back up, but like something that a lot of us predicted was that people here, like for some, like, I don't know over there too, but every time I go on social media, like, it's crazy. Like, people just don't care. Like, they're not wearing masks. They're not. So they're still having parties and stuff like that. And I'm just like, and so some of them are my friends, and like, and I'll DM them. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, in the friendliest way I can say it, but I'm just like, dude, you're an idiot, dude. And then they're just like, what, dude? Like, they're like,
Yeah, I mean, as a former EMT and seeing how, God, my brother-in-law is a fireman back home. He's an EMT. He's going through this. You know, a lot of people, they've been going to hospitals or going to doctors. Instead, they want you to stay home, call your local doctor, figure out how you can get tested safely without spreading. I've been very careful to wear my mask. I was actually born with asthma, and I was in and out of hospitals when I was younger because I would get pneumonia in the right lung, the left lung. Like, I'd get pneumonia all the time. I was hospitalized. I have pictures of me, you know, in the hospital with oxygen on and my sisters hugging me. And I had like really bad lungs when I was younger. And the older I've gotten, my asthma has gotten more controlled. But I think the last time I had pneumonia, I was about like, I want to say I was like 19, but I didn't have to be hospitalized for it. But I would usually get it every winter, and the cold air would affect me bad. But now I'm 28, and luckily, you know, I've been able to wrestle, and my asthma has not affected me. But when it comes to viruses like this, I wonder if I'm more immune to it because of these things I've gone through already, or I'm just a really damn clean person. So, I've definitely taken this virus serious. It's just a crazy, mad world right now.
Yeah. So, I remember at my job, I currently work at Subway, right? And so
I love Subway.
Oh, all right, okay. Actually, before I get to my story, tell me that. Do you consider Subway fast food?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It's on the healthier lines, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, like me, I don't consider something fast food unless it has a drive-through. But then I recently discovered there's one here. There's one here in my city that has a drive-through. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fast food.
I think Subway is fast food, but it's like a healthier choice than a McDonald's. You know?
Right.
I don't even know last time I ate McDonald's.
What? No.
Yeah, I'm not a fast food. My idea of fast food is Chinese food.
Right.
Maybe depending on the pizza place. I like to go to pizza places though, but not like, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
I make my own pizza, actually. I can make my own homemade pizzas.
And you're gonna sit there and tell me you're not a certified chef?
I think I am. Let's see, I made salmon last night. I can hook up a pizza. I got the spaghetti.
I constantly watch a lot of the chef Gordon Ramsay, and I constantly watch his videos, and after watching it, I'm like, that's it. I think I want to be a chef. I'm like, oh my god. But going back to what I was saying, so I work at Subway right now, and when this whole thing started, I told them honestly, I was like, I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I mean, people were losing their jobs and everything, and I was fortunate enough not to lose my job, but my hours did get cut. But I was at a point financially where I was like, okay, like I'm totally fine with getting my hours cut and still be fine staying at home, because I mean, me personally, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I told them, I was like, hey, you know what, like, if you want, cut my hours as much as you want, like give me 1, 2, 3 days max. I was like right now, I was like, honestly, I don't mind. So literally for the past like 2 months, I've been staying home, and I've only been working like 2 or 3, 4 days.
It's a little difficult for some of us. Like I helped train a few girls, or people book lessons with me in the ring. So I do some training. You know, we wear masks, things that we need. Like at the event, everyone wore masks. But yeah, it's hard to make a living and get by right now, depending on what you do. And entertainment, it's so rough, and we're trying to slowly get back to the new normal that we're all getting used to. But yeah.
You mentioned you train people, but did you mean like wrestling wise?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
What about fitness wise? Do you help people get Amber abs too?
Amber abs. Okay, so I have a lot of people that ask me online on my social media to post ab workout videos. If you go through my Instagram, like I've posted several different ab workout videos over the past couple years of what I do. But I'll just share like a quick little workout video of like, okay, this is what I do at the gym for this ab workout. But I've never like step-by-step trained someone. I've just taught them some ab workouts. But yeah, as far as like in-ring training, I help do that.
Oh, okay. Is being any kind of personal trainer, is that something in your interest or no?
I don't know. I haven't put much thought into it. I feel like you need a lot more knowledge about it. There's some certifications I think you have to go through to be a certified like personal trainer, nutrition. And I'll be honest, I'm not qualified. I think I can give some people some pointers and definitely put them in the right direction.
Right.
But it's also a lot about willpower. You know, you can hire a trainer, you can do this, or you can go on YouTube and watch these videos people do for free. Just dedicate yourself. It's dedication, it's drive, it's willpower, it's Nova Drive.
Nova Drive. Oh my god, that is so cool. You've wrestled for many indie promotions and all that. So I gotta ask, obviously, you know, the fans and all that, we know how the wrestling shows in the ring are, you know, the storylines, the wrestling, all that stuff. But is there anything you can share with us that happens behind the scenes at an indie show, like in your experience, like, you know, anything crazy, or nothing crazy, nothing bad, like no drama or anything like that, but any funny, crazy stories that happen behind the scenes at an indie show that you can share with us? You're like, I got a few.
Let's see. You want the scoop?
I want the scoop. Yes. Huh? Yeah, I want the scoop. Oh yes.
Anything crazy at indie shows? I think just about every locker room I've been in has been pretty professional. Rarely have I seen fights break out. Once or twice I've seen some guys get into it.
Like some of the wrestlers?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I think I've worked with a great bunch of women. They've all been pretty great with me. So professional, yeah, I don't think I have too much scoop. It shows. Yeah, like I said, a few guys might have gotten in some fights, but then they even made up afterwards for how they behaved. You know, so you just apologize. We're good. I think that takes a lot for someone to make an ass of themselves and then come back in and be like, hey, I'm sorry. You know, like that. And that, I think that really shows character for some people. So I've seen that. I remember this was a couple of years ago, my dojo, it was WrestleMania week. I want to say it was here in Orlando. Yeah, it was. It was WrestleMania here in Orlando. We were doing events, outdoor events and stuff, and our wrestling ring truck broke down. And my dad's a mechanic. You know, he's worked on ambulances, diesels. He worked on the air station in Beaufort, South Carolina, for the Marine base. He's worked on everything you name it. Dad can fix it. Mainly our passion's classic muscle cars. But I fixed my first diesel truck. The ring truck broke down, and I figured out what was the problem, and I fixed my first diesel truck so that we could get our ring truck back up and moving on to the next show. And that was 3 years ago, and that was like a pretty fun behind the scene moment.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
In your experience, any weird, crazy fan interactions?
Yeah, for sure. We have some of those.
I know some wrestlers that I follow, they always say that, oh, like when they go to like say hi to a fan in the crowd, like when they lean in to take a selfie or whatever, and the fan will like actually try and like kiss them or something like that, and like wrestlers like always say like, oh, that's a big no for fans and stuff like that. Anything like that? Like anything weird happened to you?
Yeah, like any fans out there listening, when you do meet us and you take photos with us, just watch where you put your hands. We don't want to have to tell you. You should be respectful already. Don't try to put your hand on our lower waist.
Yeah.
And just be respectful in the photo. If you want to put your arm around me, like the shoulders is fine. Sometimes people can get too touchy, and that's when the Nova girl comes out. I was like, hey, watch those hands. I don't think I've had any, like, all my fans have been pretty great. Right. I know that there has been some interactions, like this past week here in Orlando, the guy that was arrested outside of the Performance Center, he got in an interaction with, I think it was Dana Brooke and Lacey Evans, they reported. And this man has already been arrested for going to the Performance Center here in Orlando. You can't just walk up and harass people, and that's what he was doing.
Oh.
I think he was making threats about certain things as well. And they thought he could have had a gun. I think 2 years prior, that was an issue where he had a gun. He got arrested for it.
Mm.
So that we do have some really passionate fans, and we get that you're passionate, but you can't just harass people or show up, you know, on private property and things like that. Luckily, all those shows I've been a part of, I think they've all gone pretty well. You know, some fans, they can get a little mouthy, a little inappropriate here and there. It happens. But they're just getting into it. They're getting passionate. I'm trying to think of maybe some rough fans I've ever encountered. My feet get posted online a lot.
Oh my god! What is with people and feet? Oh my god! It is so crazy. Oh my god!
I'll be like, I'll do like an Instagram story. I'm at the beach, or I'll do some photo shoots and my feet, and then I'll see like a screenshot of my feet posted up in that picture. Like, it's not me; it's just the feet of that picture. And I'm like, I remember taking that photo, and that's cool. I mean, it's like a hand model. I could be a foot model.
Yeah. Oh my god. I always see that stuff on Instagram, especially like, what is people with feet, man? But I mean, hey, everybody has their, you know, has their likes and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna judge. So you mentioned the Performance Center, so that kind of brings us into the next topic. Is you were actually on NXT. So so tell us about that experience. How did that come about?
So I've wrestled for NXT twice. My first match was against Nikki Cross, July, August of 2018. We did the date. It came out August, 2018. That was my first match. And that was, I mean, she's one crazy bat. And now look, you know, she's on the main roster. She's held the women's tag team titles. And I love sharing a ring with that crazy bat. I had a good old time. I felt like, you know, I gave it a lot in there, and I took a lot, so it was good. And then my second match with NXT was against two of the top women from Japan, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. Against my tag partner was Tanea Brooks, known as Rebel. That was January of last year, and that was badass. And I felt it takes the words out of my mouth, because I was like, man, this is awesome. Because it was right before they revealed the women's tag team titles. Oh, okay. And they had the women's tag team match that I was a part of that helped put over, like, you know, Shirai and Kairi Sane, and showcase. It was really showcasing them, but I got to get in there and do my thing and show that, hey, look, I'm a competitor. I'm a top girl as well. Like, why else am I in the ring with you, you know? And it felt really good. And it was right before the reveal of the women's tag team championships, and that made me feel like I was part of that history leading up to the reveal of that, because it was only 2 weeks later that they revealed the women's tag team champions, the titles, and so that was pretty amazing. And then prior to that, you know, my first TV matches were with Impact Wrestling, which really helped me step up my skills.
I think they announced you when you were in Impact. They were like, "Oh, from the garage."
That's right.
So that's pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's right.
I love that.
So is the goal, okay, so now we mentioned Impact and we mentioned NXT. So in the future, what exactly is your goal? Is your goal to go to NXT, Impact, or somewhere else?
Honestly, my plan, well, this was my plan.
Before this whole thing.
Before the world totally went the other direction. I was going to go back to Panama and wrestle, and Panama was honestly one of my favorite places I've ever wrestled. The crowd, the people. I wrestled there in December. I was supposed to go back and wrestle there March, then it was April, then we had to push it back to May, and now we don't know. We're thinking hopefully August I'll go back to Panama and wrestle. Things might get picked up again. So, and I'm supposed to go back to South Africa this month to wrestle. That's not happening. It's really unfortunate. So I was my plan was and still is to just keep tuning up the world and getting my experience wherever I can. And that way, when, like all these other girls, when they get to that top place, they have that experience international and everything else. I definitely, I want to get back to NXT, back to WWE with the top women there, but I'm open to all opportunities. I really am.
Honestly, I am super excited to see hopefully when everything goes back to normal. Like, that's like, I think that's what wrestling, especially people that I'm a fan of, like as I am of you, something I'm super excited is like when everything does go back to normal. I'm excited. Like, what is next for like the wrestlers that I'm a fan of? Like, So
yeah, you're talking to me now, and this time next year, maybe I'm thinking I'll be signed to a top company somewhere.
Yeah, once this whole thing is over, like there's light at the end of the tunnel. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I couldn't find the words for some reason, but there you go. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so another question that I'm pretty sure you have answered many times. If you weren't a wrestler, what would you be doing?
If I weren't a wrestler?
If you were not a wrestler, yeah. What would be the plan B?
I would probably still be an EMT back home,
okay.
working, 24-hour shifts, 48-hour shifts. I probably would have just stayed with that career. But I spent that part of my life. I really enjoyed helping people and what I learned. But I really have always wanted to pursue modeling and, the professional wrestling. And it's now just a huge part of my heart and my life. And I'm not letting it go. I'm not ready. I'm not slowing down. I mean, the world might be, but I'm just gearing up and getting ready to get back in it. So
at what moment did you say, okay, you know what, this is something that I want to do, professional wrestling? I mean, like, was there a match or?
My favorite guys growing up were Goldberg, Sting, Booker T, really WCW, but I love WWF too. Yeah, like the women, Victoria, Medusa, Luna Vachon, Chyna, Trish, Lita, just Gail Kim, these amazing, beautiful women. I'm like, I could never do something like that. But then I guess it was 2013, I want to say, around that time when I was an EMT, that I saw these women and I'm like, hey, these girls don't look like Chyna. These girls aren't that big.
Yeah.
They're my age. And I was like, I think I could really do this. Let me look into, do I need to know somebody? Like, how can I really do this? So I did my research. And then September of 2014, I came down to Orlando, Florida, checked out some wrestling schools. The first one of them was Team Vision Dojo. I met some people there and I was like, all right, a ring with a bunch of sweaty guys and girls, this is all I need. And if it doesn't work, I'll move on to somewhere else. Like, if they can't teach me what I need, there's other places I can go.
Right.
And I just took that leap and I checked it out. I said, this is for me. Scott Hall was there and I watched him. Like, I was a big fan of him since I was a kid, and now he's been one of my mentors. He's so kind. And freaking badass. So I'm totally NWO Nova World Order baby. This sweet. Nova baby, Nova. NWO. Anyways, so fast forward a little bit more. So 2014, I looked into it. Okay, the WWE Performance Center is here in Orlando. Impact Wrestling does their TV tapings at Universal. There's a lot of opportunity. This is where I have to move my life. Luckily, it was only a 5-hour drive to move my life.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have to go across the country, but I was willing to. If I had to, I was going to do that. I was only 2 states away. So I moved down here May of 2015, joined the Team Vision Dojo, started training. It was a bumpy year for me. I was on my own. I didn't know anybody. I had no friends or family. I was trying to pay my bills and just get by. And, I couldn't be an EMT and work 24, 36-hour shifts doing medical transport and then step in a ring and go to the gym and work out and find all this other time to do shows or events. Like, it wouldn't have worked. So that's when I got my bartending certification, and I bartended in Disney Springs for a couple years, and then a few other like whiskey bars and wine bars, until really wrestling and modeling picked up for me. And yeah, that's how it really got started. And it's been a hell of a ride. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. And you're still so young. I feel like you haven't even I feel like you're just getting started. I feel like you've already done so much. It's crazy.
Yeah. So 5 years ago, I moved here. And I've already wrestled in last year. I went to 3 different countries last year. That was huge for me. London, South Africa, Panama. I got to wrestle in 3 different countries in 6 months' time last year. So this year was just like, all right, let's go. Let's go. And then this time,
and that's it. No. Stop. Pause.
It's really unfortunate though. So many, and a lot of people don't realize it's not just the old people that's being affected. I saw this story a 30-year-old fitness trainer, and my brother just turned 30 this April, and he's got 2 sons and a wife, and he has to wear his mask to work every day and protect them, but he just turned 30. And I saw this story and I was just like heartbroken. It was a sister and his parents and a 30-year-old fitness trainer. This guy was 30 years old, fitness trainer. Like, they were like, he was so healthy, had no problems, and he died from the virus, probably because they said he was so fit and healthy, but his organs, his body was overworking to compensate fighting off the virus, which ended up shutting down some organs. And a lot of people they need to be safe. It's not just affecting older people, it's affecting young people. It broke my heart. I saw I think it was somewhere in Europe, like London area, there was a 22-year-old EMT. I remember I was 22 years old when I was an EMT. She died of the virus. And it's not, it's just so sad. So I'm very, pro wear your masks. I'm not saying give up your whole life. We've been quarantined for months. We've been locked out for months. If you can go out, try to start living your life normally again, but do your best to protect yourself and other people. So just wear the mask,
Yeah,
that
last story got me. The last story got me because I'm 22.
Yeah, it broke my heart.
Oh my God. I was like, I'm 22. Oh my God.
I saw this pretty young blonde girl, and I was just like, wow, 22. And the fact that she was an EMT, and so was I at that age. So I think about it and I'm like, man, it's just devastating, so I just want everyone to stay safe, wear your masks, take this thing a little more serious than some people have. The spring breakers were partying back in, I think it was March, April here in Florida, and they shut down all the beaches because hey, go to the beach with 4 friends, drink, have a little fun together. But when you got 20 people out there and you got a speakers and bong tables, beer bong tables, so they shut down the beach because spring breakers were partying, and then a ton of people were getting sick all along the coastline, Miami. So Florida is one of the states with the highest amount of cases right now. So you gotta be real careful. The Performance Center, where they're doing all the tapings for WWE, a lot of people, Kayla Braxton, Renee Young, and Kayla Braxton, I believe, on her Twitter said she had gotten the virus twice.
Back in March. Yes.
Yeah, so you're not immune once you've already had it. And we don't know if it's what vaccine they're going to bring out. Is it a chicken pox where everyone's going to eventually get it? You don't know. I want to say it was January, February, it actually hit here, but nobody knew what it was, because I know a lot of people that think they had it. Back in January, February, a lot of people said they thought they had it because they were so deathly sick, like bronchitis, pneumonia for weeks. I wasn't around them, and luckily they quarantined themselves out of just being smart because they were sick. But I know a few people that told me, I think I had it back then. And then, it wasn't really revealed to us till about March what was going on. So it's crazy.
I mean, on the past interviews that I've done this past month, I don't think they're possible without speaking about what's going on. Because as much as these interviews would be cool to, just to, let people escape from reality and, be entertained and hear these stories. I don't think it's possible without speaking what's actually going on. It is not possible. So,
no way. This year has seen a lot of tragedy. Shad Gaspard, that broke my heart.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was.
I just cried reading. It was just so devastating. I can't imagine his family, his friends, everyone. My deepest condolences and sympathy. I think it was really cool. A lot of people made shirts for him and did everything they could to show support and love. It's a lot of tragedy. So everyone just needs to, it just makes you, I feel like maybe 2020 is the year that the world needed. We have the Black Lives Matter movement happening. That's something I think the U.S. has needed for a long time. Racism just needs to stop. We don't need to be fighting against each other. So there's just so much going on right now in the world that I feel like the world needed. We needed to be just this raw, uncomfortable, all these emotions, feelings, everything that's happening. We need to go through this to evolve. So generations later, they're not going through what we did, It's just, Oh, there's so much happening.
Whether you like it or not, like we're all going through this. Like it's crazy. Like can't
Yeah.
ignore it. I want to hit either the reset or the fast forward button on 2020. That's what I want to do. Oh,
I just want to make it out alive.
Yeah. All right, Amber. Before I let you go, I want to play 2 little quick games with you.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so first game, pretty easy. I call it the hot rod seat. So basically, I'm going to put a minute on the clock, and I'm going to rapid fire some questions at you, and you just answer them as honestly and as fast as you can. Okay?
Okay.
You up for it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right. They're not weird questions. They're basic. I promise you, it's fun. It's fun. I think it's fun. Okay, here we go. Amber, you are in the hot rod seat. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Boom.
Right. Minute on the clock and go. If you could close one fast food place because of nasty food, what would you pick?
Ooh, that's a mean one. McDonald's.
McDonald's, do it. Favorite finisher besides your own?
Oh, I don't know. I'm big the RKO because it's similar to the stunner. It's just a little different.
Okay. What are you terrible at?
What am I terrible at? Drawing. I can't draw to save my life.
What?
Stick figures. My sisters are artists, and I am not one. They really are.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Cats. Okay. What is one food that you will never give up?
Broccoli.
Okay. Hit it. Okay. Childhood celebrity crush.
Ooh. Childhood. The NSYNC guys. I think Lance Bass was my favorite in NSYNC. Well, we're talking like when I was a child, yeah, growing up. Lance Bass from NSYNC.
Okay. Secret hidden talent.
Secret hidden talent. I can play pool pretty well.
Oh my god. Can you fly?
Can I fly?
Can you fly? What can you do? All right, that was fun. That was fun. It's like a good way to get a little fun facts about you, you know. Okay. Now the second game is kind of similar, but here's the catch to this one. Here we go. So basically, this game, I'm going to ask you one question, right? And if you answer it, then cool. The listeners and myself will get a good laugh at it. I hope. And here's the catch. If you decide not to answer the question, like if you say, no, I'm not going to answer it, you have to follow me on either Instagram or Twitter.
Okay.
Are you up for it?
I'm wondering what question I'm not going to want to answer.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. The question is in this envelope. Now, let me properly defend myself, okay? I do not write the question, okay? I have a friend who helps me with the show.
Oh, so you don't know the question?
I don't know the question. I don't know the question, okay? I don't know the question.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, actually, I think you can answer it. Okay.
Okay.
I hope. Here we go. Amber, you've wrestled for many different indie promotions. Which promotion was your least favorite to work with?
I knew they were going to say one.
That's a great question.
I don't. Huh.
Got him.
Got me. So just message me on Instagram and I'll follow you back.
Oh, you're not gonna answer.
I was gonna follow you anyways.
Oh, thank you very much.
I think I've only talked to you through email, so yeah, whatever. Message me. I'd be happy. I was gonna follow you anyways because you're such a cool guy.
Oh,
but
I appreciate that. Oh my god.
I see. The thing is I can't say that anyone's treated me like awful. But there's been some promotions that don't have their work together and they need to get it together.
Right.
Or they're just not prepared enough, or they need to improve in a lot of different areas. So I'll say there's been places that, yeah, they need to improve. There's smaller promotions, and that's what happens in any small promotion, but I can't think of at least one.
All right, Amber, one last thing before I let you go. Where can my listeners
Okay.
find you on social media? If you want to share your social media real quick.
Yeah, follow my social media, AmberNova73 on Instagram, Twitter, AmberNova, YouTube. If you're not familiar with me, go watch some of my matches and watch me tune up.
All right, Amber. So once again, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for making this happen. I want to say it right now. Like, I'm not trying to be a kiss up or anything. I let you know that I am super grateful that you took the time to be on today. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate your support and like reaching out to me to have me on. It means a lot.
How's that for an interview, huh? Come on, let's go. Come on, guys. If you guys made it to the end, thank you so much. Let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Comment down what you guys think of this interview. Be sure to check out my podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.